The Oscars took place. The 97th Academy Awards Oscars took place this past Sunday, and it's always the talk of the town. Very hotly debated, hotly contested. People are never happy. Like, it's never truly gets things right, I would say, from a mainstream, widespread, popular perspective. But it does create conversation. People always say award shows don't matter. They're just, circle jerks, which ultimately they are. It can be very snobbish, very exclusive, very out of touch with what people are feeling. But they are still important because they still do bring light to a lot of films that you would not know otherwise, myself included, and I consider myself to be a film buff. And this year's was no different. In fact, it caused a lot of conversation. So yeah, let's just, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Let's watch some of the winners of the categories, see who won, see who lost. I did not watch. I didn't even get any like snippets. I kind of know who won Best Picture, but that's about it. So let's get right into it. Here's the winners. Full list of winners, nominees from this year's Oscars, the 97th Academy Awards. Actor in leading role, Adrien Brody, which, if you go watch our stream previously when I was talking about the nominees and seeing who I thought would win, I said Adrien Brody would win. I thought he would win, and he won. I'm not surprised. It had all the trappings of a classic kind of Hollywood golden era film that they love, that executives, producers, filmmakers, they love to kind of congratulate themselves on, like, this is big H, big F Hollywood film. And Adrien Brody, I think is one of the most kind of underrated, one of the more underrated actors out there. I think he's had a very extensive career and catalog that doesn't necessarily get the true love and recognition for, how good he actually is. I think this is his second win. I'm trying to see. Was it The Pianist? Which one did he win? Did he win or not? I want to say he won too. Yeah, it was The Pianist. So that's two leading roles. He won 2003 for The Pianist, and now he won 2025 for The Blues, which, kind of looking back, low-key similar type of roles, kind of like big dramas, kind of time period flicks that he seems to nail. So impressive. Shout out to him. 2-time Oscar winner. The Brutalist. He won over Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Only other person I thought might and should win would have been Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. I think he did a phenomenal job in that role. I think that movie was a slept-on gem. It would have been nice to see him get love and appreciation, but I'm not mad at Adrien Brody winning because he did just star in like this almost 4-hour epic, and he did kill it. He did fully embody that and embody it to the fullest degree. Like I said, I think he's one of the more underrated kind of actors out there. People, when you think of great actors, like all-time great actors, you don't typically think of him, but if you check his catalog, he's got a lot of misses, but he's also got some true gems, and there's a reason why people still keep kind of casting him, because he is one of those guys. Actor in a supporting role was Kieran Culkin, which I didn't see coming, for A Real Pain. Yura Borisov for Honor. Edward Norton for Complete Unknown. Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. So, like, as you can see, these same films getting the same nominations over and over in this kind of year, which doesn't always happen, but it's interesting to see. Kieran Culkin, very dope to see. He's had the hell of a year. I think he just won the Golden Globes. Yeah, I think he won the Golden Globes, which we reacted to. Obviously, Succession catapulted him to another stratosphere, and then I think this year he having in film, like actual movies, is only going to take him to an even further degree, and like see him getting casted in more and more things, and like to see him have this run after being in the shadow of his brother Macaulay Culkin for the longest time, and it's only being known as Kevin's brother, and to see him like forge his own path, like very unique path, is dope to see, especially later on in his life. So I'm happy that he won, because I think that he is a character, and like dope to see. This was almost one that was very controversial for some people. Actress in leading role, Mikey Madison won for Honor. Cynthia Erivo was nominated for Wicked. Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez. Demi Moore for The Substance. Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. So I kind of predicted this. I thought Honor would have been a much bigger kind of darling in terms of Golden Globes, but they didn't really get much love there. But I did think that they had all the writings for having a big moment in this year's Oscars, because they were one of those kind of indie, smaller darlings that got critical attention and praise, and then kind of had a little groundswell of mainstream support and appeal because of that kind of critical love, and everybody talking about how good it was and whatnot. So I'm not surprised that she won, but I am kind of surprised that Demi Moore did not win. I thought this would have been the year that Demi Moore would have got the award for this, considering she got it for Golden Globes, and considering The Substance was such a kind of beloved film. Like, if you ask most people what was your favorite film from 2025, a lot of people that are into film, that know their film, cite The Substance. And while I've not seen that movie yet, it did seem to have all the etchings for, like, they love to give industry, I don't know how to say this, they love to give people that have been in the industry for as long as she has, who started out in a very different kind of role, like this kind of strictly love interest, there for her looks, G.I. Jane, to this, to almost out of the industry, to now in the later half of her life, kind of getting work that truly speaks to what she wants to speak about. They love giving awards for that. And the fact that I did not give her an award for this one was kind of surprising, kind of shocking, quite honestly. Like, I think a lot of people were very surprised that Demi Moore, and I'm one of those. Actress in the supporting role, Zoe Saldana. She won over Monica Barbero for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, and Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. I'm not surprised that she won for this. Emilia Perez is not a good movie. I don't think it was a good movie. I think it had a lot of issues. I don't really understand the critical love that it's been getting from people, but considering it's had this, sometimes films get this momentum going into the award season, and that just carries them on to farther than almost anybody would imagine they would get to. And this is one of those to me. It just had so much momentum and so much kind of clout. From where? I have no idea, but had clout for whatever reasons, and a lot of stories and conversation about it, good and bad. That I'm not that surprised, but I don't think it was a good movie. But I do think Zoe Saldana is getting this is super dope, because again, she's one of those kind of like a Jamie Lee Curtis, kind of like a Demi Moore, who is like considered like this popcorn actor who's obviously been in some of the biggest franchises out there, some of the most successful franchises out there, but was never considered to be a true actor in the sense of like artistry. So it's dope to see her get this, because she's been here for a long time, and she hasn't really gotten the appreciation for her actual acting skills, but she got one. And main feature film was Flow. I believe Flow won also for Golden Globes, and when I read it, I was surprised. Again, I thought Inside Out 2 was one of the best animated films I've ever seen, and that is as an adult seeing this. I think the storytelling was phenomenal. Obviously, it's Pixar, so the visuals are great. I just think Inside Out 2 was one of the best films of the year, and I think it was one of the best anime films ever. So, and I have not seen Flow, so I can't necessarily say if it should or shouldn't have gotten on. Animated short film, okay. And then Shadow of Cypress. I believe this was the one about Shadow of Cypress. So we did just do a feature. Yeah, go check out our site, livinglifehereslog.co. One of our writers, Steven Silver, shout out to him. He actually did a ranking of, here it is, this year's 15 Oscar nominated short films, and he ranked his favorites from 15 to 1. And Shadow of Cypress was amongst this list. I believe it was, he only had it ranked 10. It was a mostly silent Iranian animated film directed by Hossein Bolayemi and Shirin Sohani about a sea captain, his daughter, and activated past trauma. So we only had it officially ranked at number 10 out of the 15 nominated films, but it walked away the winner. If you want to see the full list of rankings and kind of explanations of why he ranked them where and whatever, go check that out on the site. But the Shadow of Cypress won. Okay. Cinematography, no surprise. I thought The Brutalist was going to win from the moment I saw the trailer. Like, I just knew this is winning for cinematography. This is going to win some Oscars. It had the classic kind of feel of golden era Hollywood. I believe they even shot it on film, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. AI says yes. The Brutalist was shot primarily on 35 millimeter VistaVision, and then was finished on 70 millimeter. So yeah, like I said, this was a love letter to Hollywood in the time period of what people consider to be golden era Hollywood. So like, nobody loves celebrating and congratulating Hollywood more than Hollywood. So I was not surprised to see The Brutalist win best cinematography, because it went old school. It did it, and it was like almost 4-hour epic. So like, it was a labor of love. So I'm not surprised that it got rewarded for going that extra step. But to me, it was either Dune Part 2 or Nosferatu. I think Dune Part 2 was one of the biggest snubs from this year. It did not get nearly enough love. I think it was easily the best blockbuster to come out this past year. And the work that Denis did to adapt this to film is not talked about enough or appreciated enough, because if you've read the books of Dune, you would understand how almost goddamn impossible it was to adapt that in any significant, interesting way, coherent way. But he did it in like this almost perfect adaptation of one of the most unadaptable books we've had to date. And not only did he adapt it, he elevated it to another degree. The visuals were absolutely stunning. So once again, he got snubbed. Once again. I don't get it. Costume design, Wicked won over Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and A Complete Unknown. Not really kind of surprised at all, because it was a very fantastic movie, and I think they did a great job with everything. The visuals, directing, Sean Baker got one. Is that his first one? I want to say he won for the Florida Project. It's not his four Oscar. No, he won 4 this year. How many did he got total? Just 4? I thought he won for the Florida Project, but I guess not. Sean Baker, much beloved, critical kind of indie darling. Sean Baker had his moment. He definitely had his moment this year. He just won for Best Director of Honor, which had a moment this year. Brady Corbett, he won out over Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, James Mangold for Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie, I don't even know how to say last name, for The Substance. So considering and looking at how much love Honor got this year, especially in the Oscars, I'm not surprised to see that Sean Baker won this, and I'm actually kind of happy because I think Sean Baker has always been an extremely underrated director and was definitely one of those next ones that's going to carry the industry for the next, I don't know how many years. So I'm not surprised, or a little surprised, but I'm extremely happy that he got this award. But I am surprised that he did beat out Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. Documentary, No Other Land won. Short film, The Only Girl in Orchestra. Film editing, Nora again. Sean Baker is second one. Makeup and hairstyle, not surprised. The Substance, yeah, even though kind of a different man, was pretty goddamn impressive. Music original score was The Brutalist. Music original song, El Mom. Here we go. Music. I haven't seen The Brutalist, so I can't necessarily speak to the music and how good it was. But to see in the music category a movie like Wicked, which is literally a musical, lose out in this category to a movie that's very much not a musical is kind of insane to me. I know one film had audience members in the audience singing out loud along with the film, seeing it multiple times, and it not even getting the award for music is kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie. For as big of a movie as Wicked was, which is easily one of the biggest movies to come out this past year, and for the like virality and the viral moments that it caused, and like just this groundswell of support from just the people that I've never seen, and well, not never, but I haven't seen in a very long time for a movie. And to see it not get more nominations, more appreciation and love from the Academy is kind of insane, because I'm not a musical person. I don't love musicals, but I did go watch this one. And it had me hooked pretty much the entire way. This is one music. I'm like, damn, this movie was actually kind of fire, and I'm actually interested into seeing the sequel. But to see it get snubbed to the degree that it did this year in the Oscars is fucking insane to me. And like, to lose out in music to The Brutalist, the way that they were able to adapt Wicked, and the songs were hitting that they were, and the music and everything was hitting, and for it to lose out to The Brutalist in the music category just does not make sense to me. Could be wrong though. Could be wrong. And then again, Doom Part 2 getting slept out, only getting visual effects and sound. Are you kidding me? All right. All right, live action short film I'm Not a Robot, which is also on our list of short films. One. Go check that list out. I believe one other. Yeah. Documentary short film was The Only Girl in the Orchestra. That one also on our list. Kind of crazy if you look at our list and see which one should have probably won, but go check that list out. The big one, Best Picture, Honor, no surprise at this point, won. Beat out The Brutalist, The Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Not that surprising considering to see where things were headed and kind of the momentum of everything, the talks and conversations about Honora. But it is surprising because I don't know. I just didn't see it getting this much love, beating out the films that it did. This one was probably the most controversial, one of the most controversial, and caused quite a stir. And like people are literally questioning, should it have won Best Picture? Which is obviously a conversation every time Best Picture comes around. But I don't know that many people that have seen Honora. We'll continue that later. This one always, this is a pet peeve for me. And I mean, Honora also won for original screenplay. No surprise again. For adapted screenplay, Conclave won, which I've never actually seen. I don't even think I've seen a trailer for that. I might have to watch that. But for Conclave, I mean, for all this full list of adapted screenplays, how is Dune Part 2 not part of adapted screenplays? Last time I checked, it is a book and it is an adapted screenplay of one of the hardest books to adapt to film. And not only did he adapt it, he adapted it to an almost perfect degree and changed things in a way that actually might make it a better property than the actual book. Do you know how hard that is to do? And to still do justice to that said screenplay and screen book and whatever. And for it not to even get a nomination for writing, it's crazy. They don't love blockbusters. And the fact that even a blockbuster that is still a thoughtful thinking almost blockbuster, like Dune Part 2 is, and to not get the love it should have, is disgusting to me. Like, they missed again. Not as bad as The Dark Knight, but still unacceptable. But like I said, there were some conversations about the awards. As always, people were very upset and up in arms. And people are furious because two separate Academy members reportedly based their Oscar votes on misinformation. Folks online have been left unimpressed with some reported findings from a recent Variety article concerning anonymous ballots from Oscar voters. For context, the way Oscar voting works is via the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, a collective made up of 10,000 established industry experts. Members of the Academy include those behind and in front of the camera, and all members are allowed to vote in all categories. Variety's Clayton Davis published an Oscar predictions report based on conversations with 84 individuals. But when discussing Best Oscar Actor nominations, it was revealed that two of the anonymous members for Variety spoke to shared some information as people online furious. Two separate Oscar voters decided not to vote for Ralph Fiennes, who is nominated for his performance in Conclave. Their reasoning was that he already had an Oscar, so didn't want to vote for his second win. But here's the thing, Ralph has never won an Oscar. Both voters believe that Ralph won back 1940s for incredible performance, which is also crazy that he did not fucking win for Schindler's List, considering that is one of the all-time, like, considered golden standards of films. But no, he did not win. I would assume he won, but no, he didn't. Ralph lost to Tom the Engineer. What? Get the fuck out of here. Is this the same movie? Is this the Harrison Ford movie I'm talking about? That I'm thinking about? No fucking way. Ralph Fiennes, I'm just learning about this. Ralph Fiennes, however you say it, lost Best Actor for Schindler's List, which is any Criterion, any whatever, like any golden standard of film is right up there. Lost to Tommy Lee Jones for The Fugitive. Look, I love The Fugitive as an X-Men. I actually watched that movie a lot when I was younger, but I would not hold that at a standard of a Schindler's List or an all-time movie. And the fact that Tommy Lee Jones won, wow. My mind's blown, bro. That's just my fucking mind.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Wow. Okay. But the kicker is that because they chose not to vote for Ralph, both voters decided to vote for Adrien Brody, who actually already has won an Oscar. So, I mean, again, politics as usual. If you didn't know, awards are never as straightforward based on merit as you would hope that they would be. As a matter of fact, they never are. There is such thing as voter fatigue. If they think that you won one, if you think you've already gotten your flowers, they will definitely not vote for you again. The same thing happens in like the NBA, the NFL, any sport, anywhere where you get awards on a yearly consistent basis. There is such thing as voter fatigue. There's a reason why LeBron only has 4 MVPs in his entire career, and why countless others don't have more. Kobe, Shaq, just to name a few. It's the same applies in the industry, especially the film industry and Oscar. If they think you've already won one, think you've already got your just dues, they might not go for you again. Simple as that. So I'm not really surprising. It's fucked up, but it's not surprising. I mean, what's more fucked up is that is I just learned that he lost his first role in Schindler's List to The Fugitive. Get the fuck out of here. That is nuts. Wow. Wow. And who said the Academy Awards don't know what they're doing? Wow. The Fugitive? Maybe it's been a while since I've seen that. But that sounds like a travesty. Just hearing that out loud sounds like a goddamn travesty. I mean, The Fugitive is a good movie, don't be wrong, but looking back, it ain't no all time. Damn, I gotta watch The Fugitive again now? I can't wrap my mind about that. That is wild. Did y'all know that? That's crazy. There's a couple. I don't think I've ever seen the trailer for Conclave.
The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant.
I mean, kind of timely, bro. Considering the Pope now might not be here for much longer.
What happened? They say a heart attack.
You know how rumor spreads.
I mean, I can't it's hard for me to see John Lithgow and not see Third Rock from the Sun.
And 1.25 billion souls watching.
Well gotten, O Lawrence. It seems the responsibility for the conclave falls upon you. The supervision of this election. This is a duty I never thought I'd have to perform. They are sequestered, and they must be shielded from all news that may influence their judgment. You understand?
No sane man would want the papacy.
The men who are dangerous are the ones who do want it.
That sounds ominous.
I wonder if I could have a word in private. You look anxious. Everything under control. How has this been kept a secret for so long? We'll never find a candidate who doesn't have any kind of black mark against them.
Although we sisters are supposed to be invisible, God has nevertheless given us eyes and ears.
You should be careful, Thomas.
This is a conclave, Aldo. It's not a war.
It is a war. And you have to commit to a side.
There is one sin.
Hold up. From the director of All Quiet on the Western Front? How did I miss this? I might have to watch this because shit looks kind of intense. A thriller surrounding this Catholic Church, the Vatican, a new pope. Sounds goddamn intense. Sounds kind of fire. Can't be worse than what was it, Angels and Demons? And from the director of All Quiet on. Okay. I can see why some people are pissed.
Which I have come to fear above all others. Certainty. If there was only certainty and no doubt, there would be no mystery. And therefore no need for faith.
Piqued my intrigue. Music was slapping, acting was fire, cast is intense, story, the plot, the hook, everything. Yeah, I might have to watch this one. This should look kind of fire. This one definitely missed my radar. I mean, it's got all the makings for a great story. I mean, not as probably not as crazy as the actual stories that surround the Vatican and things that happen and people that disappear there, but definitely seems fire. What's the other one I haven't seen? I think it was I don't think I've ever actually seen the Emilia Perez trailer.
Are you English?
No, I'm not English. Why?
No, because you you are pretty.
So, does your client have a name?
He desires to remain anonymous. If you're not willing to accept, I don't think it's worth talking.
Just cut to the chase.
To listen is to accept.
Bingo.
Emilia.
Emilia.
There it is. Emilia.
Emilia. Eres tú.
Mingo.
I don't know what the fuck was going on in that trailer. There's a lot going on. Looks kind of interesting. It's facts. That's just I can say. I don't know. I have no idea this movie. Facts. Hmm. One other movie trailer I haven't seen. It was. Oh.
Long time, long time, long time.
Woo! That's it, Al. You're doing great.
What happened to that one kid I used to hang with all the time?
You don't remember?
Remember what?
You really don't remember.
I don't know what more you want me to remember.
What are you gonna do? It's now or never.
Hello.
I mean, it looks emotional. Looks like a fairly, dramatic film that has some very interesting beats and messaging and whatnot, and kind of reminiscent of like a Moonlight. But I don't know. I've seen most of the movies on this list, and like I'm not that impressed by this year's Oscars or this year's movies, quite honestly. What do you guys think about some of the winners, the snubs? Who you think should have won? You happy with who won? Have you seen Honora? Do you like Honora? What about Emilia Perez? You think Dune 2, Wicked were big snubs from this year? Let me know.